How is your evening, by the way? I hope you had a blast. You had a great time. I mean, for those whose day has not been all that good, pray so hard you have tomorrow, so as long as you're still living. And those who had a wonderful day, you made lots of money, and you're planning for the weekend because you have something in your pockets. Yes, you had a great time, and I wish you the best. But thank you so much for joining me on this lovely show, Heartbeat, a love show for the youth out there, and those that are celebrating marriage or celebrating their love life. There's so many, we have different groups of people. There are those that have just fallen in love. Yes, and your love is 180. Yes. And then there are those that, yes, broken. Yes, you wish that you had the best husband, probably spouse, and then things are turning upside down. Sorry, but this show is mainly for you to help you deal with your issues. Probably we do not encourage separation, but we look at so much of you reconciling, reuniting. How about that? And then if you have any birthday parties for the adults, pre-weddings, bridal shower, baby shower, this is the very show for you. Let's celebrate with you. Show the world that you're doing well in your relationship. And then those small parties, pre-weddings, yes, your wedding is tomorrow and you have a kasiki today, give me an invite. I'll be in your space. My name is Julie. I'm here to take you through in the 55 minutes for us together, lovely music videos, and then love talk. I also have visitors in studio with us, and today I have my very own workmates. Yes. How about you also enjoy the other part of them apart from what they do here? Yes, we look at their love life. How about that? It's so amazing. We're going to have amazing time together. But right at this minute, we have a letter from a lovely lady. She came to tell us quite a lot about what is going on in her life, and she wants a lot from you. I'm going to be a mediator between you and the other victim. So I'll read the letter to you, listen very carefully, and then watch. Let's get to know where the problem comes from and then find a way of helping her in one way or another so that she could have the best of her relationship. How about we go in for a letter, and then right after there, I'll be back to explain more about the letter. I've been with my boyfriend for about 4.5 years. I was active duty military for 2.5 years. During that time, we were long distance but managed to see each other every month until I moved back home 2 years ago. We have 2 children. My oldest is from a previous relationship. Last year, I went through a period where I really wanted to get engaged, and I would drop hints. He would basically make it known that he wasn't ready. He said he didn't want to talk about anything if it wasn't going to happen anytime soon. I would get annoyed because it felt like he was just shutting me down. I don't want to nag him, but I thought it would be fun to casually discuss details or to show him the kind of rings I like. He got mad and felt like I was pressuring him, but after a while, I stopped because it began to hurt my feelings. Time passed, however, family and counselors kept telling him that he needed to start considering marriage. This was spiritual reasons, and that I wasn't going to be around forever. So lately, he has been considering it and dropped a few hints that it has been on his mind, which gets me excited. But we recently got into an argument, and it made me feel like once something bad happens or a fight between us, it will always set us back from getting engaged. It's like he will make sure a fight delays his proposal. Marriage will not be easy, and I feel like he wants things to be perfect before he pops the question. But life is not perfect, and neither is marriage. I'm really frustrated. Heartbeat, any advice? desperate mother of two in casual unwanted relationship. I'm Kevin. Please help. You heard it all. It came in from Kevin, and Kevin is saying that in relationship for approximately 4.5 years, and they've been in this lovey-dovey stuff kind of relationship with the husband, and they have 2 kids, but she stressed it that their first kid is from the other previous relationship. That means they have 1 kid together. And then, since they've been together for quite some good time, 4 years, it's just the right time to speak about marriage. How about you think about something serious together? And then she one time sat with her husband, so-called husband. Yes, they are cohabiting. And they sat together, and one time she was like, how about we get serious? How about I introduce you to my parents? And then the guy seemed as if he didn't want this. It's very absurd. But the way he answered, it was kind of very pathetic that hugged her in one way or another. And then she was like, did I do anything wrong? Is there anything that I spoke you didn't like? I thought maybe it's the right time for us to speak about serious marriage because I have a kid with you together and it's time for us to get serious. And then the guy was like, he just literally didn't want to speak about marriage. But time came when Kevin stopped saying anything about marriage and just looked at this guy, father to her kid, and unfortunately they're living together. But she engaged in some counselors and elders, let's say, probably people that are in marriage and they've been there for some time, and parents as well, talked to them to talk to this man. But they came and spoke to the husband and they were like, how about you sit down and think about marriage? They spoke to the husband. Think about marriage. It's just time enough for you to have studied your wife. You have a kid together. Talk about marriage. And probably she might not be around even tomorrow. How about you talk about it? Talk about the future together because you have a kid together. And then the guy was like kind of laid back, this kind of attitude, but good enough. There was some problem here and there. So what he opted is he came and spoke to the wife, to the to-be wife, girlfriend, that, I know, let's look at it in one way or another. I want it. I have it in mind. Yes, I understand. I have it in mind, but give me time. But again, time passed. She had gotten so excited that, yes, my husband is now into it. So let me look at maybe the kind of rings I will wear on my wedding and stuff like that. But it seems he just said it just to please, to please her, but it wasn't real. And time came also after there that they broke into a fight. And whenever he does this, Kevin thinks that maybe she's finding, the guy is finding a way of delaying the proposal, because this is a proposal of an engagement. She wanted very much to engage, but the guy seems not to be wanting at all. But again, there's a time when they fall into a fight and then reunite. When things get better towards the date they've set, the guy becomes mad, they fight over nothing. So Kevin is like, maybe this guy is delaying this proposal by coming up with fights that I really don't even understand. This is where the problem is coming from. She does not know what to do. Can she stop talking about marriage and she leaves the guy to be? But again, if she does that, she has a kid together with this man, and she looks at the future together with this man because she has already had a kid with him. She doesn't know what to do. What do you think about that? This is where we got our topic of discussion, and we are asking, when should cohabiting couples talk about marriage? Yes, it's a hard one, but you got me, you've understood me very well. Our topic of discussion is, when should cohabiting couples speak about marriage? When do you think could be the right time for cohabiting couples to speak about marriage? Probably it's not a thing that they should talk about, or it's very crucial. That's our topic of discussion. Please visit our Facebook page, it's Record TV Heartbeats, and comment, give us your advice, your opinion, suggestion, and then you can as well use a WhatsApp number. We are not very much into calls of late, but we are so much interested in your messages. Let it be WhatsApp or a dry message. And our WhatsApp number is right on your TV screen. You can as well engage with us, and later on, read all the opinions. Yes, we are going to take a short break. When we come back, I'm going to come back with my two visitors in studio. They'll be sharing the experience with us and how it feels to cohabit, and how best and when should they speak about marriage. Let's take this breather.
Chata Investments. We deal in all types of original Japanese cars with guarantee. We provide service on bulk purchase, and number plates are made available within a week. Hire purchase is also available at our showrooms, and we are open Monday to Sunday. For more information, find us after Spear Stage along Ginger Road, or call us on 0772 22 1409 or 0702 22 1409. Chata Motors, dealers in genuine motor vehicles. Cityside College Makere, we are the best academic center with day and boarding students, offering both arts and sciences for O and A level. We also have a well-stocked library and up-to-date science and computer laboratories.
Please bring your students so that they can have the best of the best. We also have bursaries for those who qualify. These are people who are needy but hardworking, disciplined, and performing well.
Find us at Chikaya Eliza Zone near Bahai Temple, or call us on 0783 518492 or 0701 471379. Cityside College, your success is our cause. Are you looking for modern furniture? Roma Furnishings has it all. We have beddings, wardrobes, dressing sets, dining tables, sofa sets, TV wall units, lampshades and display, bar counters, and above all, we have the most elegant office furniture. For more information, find us at Plot 2024 Spring Road, Bogolobi, or call us on 0414 34 35 33 or 0702 14 3107. Roma Furnishings, Kings of Home, Hotel, Office and Garden Furniture.
Tugenda kukikuvugira anti omanyi nga nayemeredde ku microphone eyakabi ngenda kikuvugira paka kiro okitegeera essaawa zo bbiri ng'oli ku lutime gagadde ondaba ku Record TV eyakabi
bulava ku mulwadde we nalumba endongawo okane oye ndawuso mu masuku we ne waba wankoko yafa na jjupa nze kwene ndongo budongo nsinga olugoye ne batanyumiza
I'm so glad that you're tuned in, yes, to still remind you about our letter. We are talking about Kevin's letter, who has been in this cohabiting marriage. Yes, marriage, okay. For 4.5 years. They have a kid together with a boyfriend. By the time she spoke about marriage, this is when hell broke loose. And the husband didn't want to hear about it. However much for her, she was so committed and saying, yes, this is the right man I should be with, and is the father to my kids. She's asking that can she stop talking about marriage and she lets the man be, or she goes out of this kind of cohabiting marriage and look for someone who is better and right. But remember, they have a kid together whom they would have built a marriage together, and probably good thing to come. But again, there's a time when they consulted counselors and elders to speak to the man about this kind of thing. And the guy seemed as if he's hard and he's bound to change. But it seems it was just a word that he used to calm this lady down and shut her up. because time came when they had to broke into a big fight. So she's saying maybe that this guy is using fights to delay this kind of proposal, because for her she wants to get engaged pretty soon. Well, in studio with me, I have amazing visitors. Yes, they are my workmates. We want to know more about the other love life of theirs, yes, apart from what they're doing here. And on my left-hand side, I have Precious Remy. She does an amazing show, Daybreaker, but a segment called Echitangaza. She hosts a couple of so many people out there, and probably people that have really come up with so much they've done into their life. Probably you can inspire others. She has lots of segments, and she's ready to explain to us what she does in the show. Welcome to the show, dear.
Thank you. How are you?
You're smart.
Smart too.
Yes, tell the audience out there what you do briefly.
Oh my God. First and foremost, I'm going to take this opportunity and say good evening, everyone who loves heartbeats, those who take time to watch this show, because with this show you get to know where you fall when it comes to relationships. Though as well, I do a relationship. I have a relationship day in my show. That's
segment
every Thursday.
Yes.
We talk about relationships. So, though my show is a bit different from this one, so I want to thank Julie for this great opportunity she's given to me to share with the world, with all the viewers who are watching right now, to at least know. It might not be what I am doing, but it's maybe just my advice, my simple advice,
yes,
on what you are talking about, because probably maybe it's not what is really happening in my life, but maybe I have a clue about it.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, and the other right-hand side, yes, I have an amazing person. His by name's Ryan Beats. He does swinging beats. He's the Rasta soldier. You have so many titles. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Yes, an introduction, slightly briefly, of you.
At least I believe almost everyone knows, whoever watches TV, Ryan Beats. But basically today we're not here to talk about, music. We're here to talk about, we're not here to talk about Chris Brown. We're not here to talk about 50 Cent. We're going to talk about, the most important side of our life. That I think is the most important factor of our life. And that is the love life, sentimental life. And it's, sometimes, people get us wrong, They probably think once...
They judge you according to what you do, yes.
And that's so common here, especially here in Africa. They are so judgmental. They look at you, they, weigh you out, and they probably, come up with a conclusion there and then. So, but we have a life to live,
Yes, but what the audience should know that these are two married people. He's married to a very beautiful lady. I'm not certain with the names. Maybe he'll probably tell us the name of the wife, whom I think he's also watching the show. Yes, and she's also married to a very, very handsome guy, and they have a kid together. She inspires me. Yes, I like that, Remy. Remy, tell me about the other side. Did you make any adjustments when you got married? Briefly.
Of course I did. There is no way, like in most cases.
Like, what did you want to do? What were you so oftenly doing before you got married, and you had to cut it off? Definitely, and also?
Like my dress code. My dress code really changed when I got married.
I like that.
Yes, because when I look at it, my husband wanted another person in me, and yes, I really loved him. We have to adjust when it comes to relationships. At times, people get fights because of small things that you can actually adjust to. So if my husband does not want the way I dress, probably I am a Rastafarian, I love dreadlocks, I put on baggy things, I put on things, and he's like, no, you know what? I love you so much, but I want you to be be this kind of lady. And when I looked at myself, he would always tell me, look at yourself in the mirror. You look so gorgeous when you're dressed like this. And by the way, with time, everyone started telling me.
He must be a good man. I'm jealous. Yes. Now, Ryan, tell me, tell me about your first date. Was it dramatic? Was it kind of hilarious? Or it was normal, like the first time you met your wife? I don't know where.
The first time, my first date, or the first time I met the woman I have now?
Okay, tell me about your first date. Yes, date.
Like with this one?
The one you have.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you know, I'll be honest. You know, this thing, none of us saw this coming, honestly speaking, because we're like kind of buddies, and you know, sometimes you have a friend and you get so much used to this guy.
You never think of the other.
Yeah, so probably, you know, we're like, you know, friends. You know, she could help me in this, she could help me in that, and probably I could also help her in that, and you know, just like friends. Then she you know, went out for some time. Then we kept in touch.
Okay.
So, you know, step by step, you know, the rest of the parties.
Did you try to go out on a date together?
Yeah, when she came back, you know, by the time she came back, you know, at least, you know, we had almost, you know, because we had seen each other for quite a long time before she went out, for years, and we're just friends. So by the time she came back, you know, we knew our side.
Okay.
So we were just like, not igniting, but we're just like, you know, taking on another step.
Thank you so much. Yes, Remy, I want you to tell me about your husband now that you have. You know, there's so many things we normally admire. When we grow up, we look at so many things like, me, I want a very rich guy. I want a guy who is mugged. I want a guy who is smart. What do you like about your husband?
Number one thing I love about, actually there are like one or two that I really, really admire about him, or three. Just allow me to say three.
Okay.
Because I think I have a lot I appreciate about him. Number one thing I appreciate him about his smartness. My husband, even all the friends he went to school with, everyone would find me and would be like, how do you handle his cleanness and smartness? Because he is way too much. Like, he can never step out of the house. He's one person who can step out of the house with his shoes and he comes back with the same shoes, like they're not dirty at all. And you, the woman, yours are actually even dirtier than his. That is number one thing.
He must be proud of you.
Oh my God. Anyway, I know, because we're looking up to that. Number two, I love his calmness. I love the way he holds people. Like, he's this one person who can work with everyone, like everyone. When he comes home, it's a bit different. Yes, he's a bit different, because what people see outside, you know, like at times guys don't cover up, and okay, human beings don't cover up, like, but he's this kind of person. When he goes out, everyone will be like, Precious, you have the best man in this world. He is so simple, very calm, he's so understanding. And then number three, he's so hardworking. He's very young, by the way, very, very young, but I just love the way he works. He's very, very hardworking, and that is what I would look into a man that I am willing to spend the rest of my life with.
Is he younger than you?
Religious? No.
He's not.
He's not younger than me, but he's young compared to what people think I would have, like, to what people expected of me.
So should we say that you used to be interested in very old guys, like 60 and above?
Not as such.
Fall for sugar daddies?
Not that, but depending. Okay, someone would think I would be dating a man who is 30 years and above.
Okay.
But depending, when everyone looked at me, I was like, we can't believe, because, you know, people who are under that age, they've not yet made so much money. In most cases, it is
they
just
fear
the
commitment.
little, yes, it's very little, and they fear commitments. But this man understood me, because I was also not so easy.
Oh, please. Don't blow your trumpet. He's also young here, very handsome and young, but he's also committed. Anyway, leaving that aside, today we have a topic tabled, and we're looking at cohabiting couples. When should cohabiting couples talk about marriage? When do you think would be the right time? Because at times when we come up with a suggestion about getting serious, men come out and say that, you know, it's wastage of time. He wouldn't probably want to listen about you saying anything concerning marriage and rings. You know how women are addicted. Even look for a gown, even if your marriage will be like 30 years to come. Yeah, so I want to get to know, what is your opinion, starting with you, Remy?
My opinion about that, you mentioned about someone like feeling like stepping out when you talk about marriage. You've been with someone cohabiting. You know, when you start cohabiting with someone, in most cases, you just want to understand this person far. You just want to get to know. Probably you can start cohabiting and it takes like 3 years, 2 years, it can take like 1 year. But the reason as to why people do that, to understand one another. So if you've understood someone, why don't you talk about marriage? So I totally and 100% agree with someone talking about marriage. If they've started cohabiting, even if it's 1 year, they should start talking about serious marriage, because I am not so sure if you're wasting my time or you're actually carrying me on as your future wife.
Okay, pause a little bit. Ryan, what do you think about our topic? When should cohabiting couples talk about marriage? Or they should keep quiet? Suddenly like that, and a man could actually one day, if he wakes up and really feels like, yes, commitment, is the one going to tell you, okay, sweetheart, marriage will be next year in Jan.
Yeah. Okay, cohabiting is, I think it's more or less like courtship, because courtship has no time limit. It's the same applies to. But you stay together. So the sheer fact that you're already cohabiting, you're already committed. Yeah, you're like already committed. Because now let me tell you something. Okay. There is, in Africa, we understand marriage in a different way. It's not like the way those guys, you know, really take it. For us, we understand that once, you know, you get a lady, you start staying together. Doing things together. African way, and probably in a due course you get a baby, you know, more responsibilities. So that's what they call, you know, that is already marriage. Of course, I think it's also type of marriage here in Africa. Especially here in Africa, it's like type of marriage. Then the other thing, why people sometimes probably, you know, get crippled in this whole situation is because of African system. You know, African system, you know, demands a lot. They feel they have a wall to lean on, because there are some reasons it's like, okay, I cannot to do that. I cannot go for marriage before I go for Kuchala. I cannot go for marriage before I go for Kwanjula. I cannot go for marriage, you know, so all those processes. And he's like, okay, I'm not set to go for Kuchala, so that means I cannot go for wedding. I'm not set to go for Kwanjula because I've not gone for Kuchala. So the process is kind of, you know, catching up on them. Okay, me, I'm not looking at the process, because the process is almost the same. Visiting parents, introduction, wedding, it's almost the same, However, also visitation is less costly. But we are looking at you accepting. If I've come up with we at home and then we come up with a jazz with my husband. No, and I say, oh, sweetheart, why don't we probably get committed? Let's look at an engagement. How do you find it? And then you become mad because I've talked about commitment. I don't know where the problem comes from. Is it finance, that you don't have enough money? Are you not ready for commitment? Why did you accept to be with me for that long? And then we give birth to we have a kid together. Because once a woman accepts to be with you and gives you a child, at times, in most cases, 99% are ready for commitment. But it's normally men that turn them down. Remy, what do you think about that?
Just as I told you before, that 100% I agree with a certain time talking about marriage, because you can't tell me that I am with you for 3 good years. I have 2 kids with you, and the minute I mention the word marriage, let's get married, and you get mad. What I think about that, it shouldn't be even financially. Because if we have 2 kids, then that means we are capable of taking good care of these kids.
Exactly,
Okay, it might not
because you're already
that
doing
good,
it.
yes.
Yeah.
Because if we can't take good care of these kids, why are we giving birth in the first place? Okay, the first kid can be a mistake, but again, the second one, the third one, I don't think so. So the minute I think we can take good care of our 2 kids, then I think you can afford to get the little you have. We go to our parents, we do kuchala. You understand? It's just that people are exaggerating things these days. Then they have to give out cars. They have to bring 1,000 or 1,000,000 things to the woman's home. But me, I am willing. If I sit down with you and I'm like, you know what, honey? I think I should, it's high time we go and introduce you to my parents. Then the husband will be like, I think I'm not ready for this. I don't have that much money. I'll be like, how much do you think you can raise? Probably I can talk to my parents. They can fund a little. Like preparations, we can do meetings, we can
yes,
prepare a little.
Remy, that's the other way, the way you look at things. Yes, they are so different. There are those that can give you an ear and listen to you probably, what you're saying. And he will definitely give you back. It will be like a talk together. This person is willing, because if a person is willing to actually engage into what you've suggested, will normally come back to you and tell you a reason as to why there were some 2 delays or why he's saying no at that minute. But a person who says no means that it's just a mistake to even marry you, to cohabit with you, and then you keep around. Because here Kevin is saying, I really don't know whether I'm with the wrong person, because me, I have commitment in my heart, in my mind. That's why I'm even able to speak about it boldly with this man. But he actually doesn't want to talk about me. That's the bad thing. He does not want to talk about it with me. That means there is a big problem. Either we are not supposed to be together, we are not meant to be, we are not a perfect match, and our kids were just a mistake. Because if Kevin tells us in the letter that they sat together and told the man about the letter, and I mean about the marriage, and then the guy is like, no, I'm not going to. Okay, he becomes mad suddenly and doesn't give you reasons. And then you try to engage in some other people like elders and friends, and also parents.
And also another thing I would love to know about, Kevin is later, is that, which situation is, she talking about this? Like she brings up this in which situation? Because there are so many things that, will, lead a man to say no. And probably it's not because he's not committed, but because, there are so many forces behind. Probably you think there is money, but he has a different vision. As men, we have different visions. Just like she said.
Like which vision?
You might be like, okay, once I'm settled for a wedding, probably I want to take this, that, this.
Share it with your wife. Where do you find the problem if you don't talk to me? How am I going to read your mind that you were thinking about
in most of, especially here in Africa, basically we are talking about Africa.
Exactly.
Especially here in Africa, we are raised up in a way that a man can, like handle it all or something like that. So sometimes.
So you don't need a woman's opinion, right?
So sometimes, according to, probably what I've seen around, and, according to what I've seen from, back in age, from our parents, probably a man wants to stand as a pole, like a focal point for everything.
But Ryan, what I can say about that, because even if someone is having some targets, like I am targeting this, so I am not ready to do this. Probably if your wife tells you, you know what, sweetheart, I think we are set to go for marriage. It's not like you just say no, because when you mention the word no, it means you are completely not willing, not even ready, but you're completely not willing to take this woman as your wife to be. So how sure am I that you're either wasting my time and you're probably seeing some other person, because these things are happening. Someone gives birth like to 2 kids or 3 kids, and when this man is
she's abandoned.
Like when this man is ready to get married, they marry off another woman. You understand?
Yeah,
they leave this one.
But in the first place,
just tell your wife, you know what, sweetheart, we're simply not ready. tell her something that is simply going to calm her down. You know, women, we are driven by the sweet words. When I come home, when you come home and you're my husband, we don't have money, and today you completely didn't get anything. Do you know that I can sleep hungry by the mere telling me, you know what, sweetheart, today it failed, but tomorrow.
No, today, you know, you might say all that probably, you know, because, you know, you might be understanding your man and probably he understands you. But, you know, today, according to the guy here, you know, they are so different. You know, he's going to, she will think by it, that what, like when she comes to you and she's like, you know, maybe let's start talk about commitment and stuff like that. She's going, you know, once you say yes, she'll start thinking of many things. And besides that, even where she comes from, the family, she might not have that, but the family. You know, nowadays in Africa, you know, our man is weighed on what he, you know, he comes with at home.
Okay, Ryan, let's pick it from there after the break. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to continue more and talking about a topic of discussion, probably help Kevin out there. She might be the one in the problem, or probably the husband. Yes, we're going to drill more in that after the break, and probably read also your messages that you've sent in.
Tell us the situation that is, you know, if Kevin could help tell us the situation they're in right now. Because probably you might be talking about...
She's quiet. Yeah. She ended the letter saying that she's now quiet. She doesn't speak about anything. Yeah.
Because, you know, you don't know the situation they're in. Probably, you know, by the time, you know, she's asking for commitment, they're even, you know, almost falling apart. And you know, she wants to use that as, you know, something to hold on. Once they get committed, I'll be accountable for this, or I have some, you know, something like that.
I think there is something we shall talk about, just as you said, after the break. Because I think where by the time you get married, or you start cohabiting with someone, and you have 2 kids with them, then I think I don't really see that big reason that you're not going to, the big problem that you're finding in your husband, or the husband finding in you, that you can sit down and overcome, because till you're not sure of where you are going.
Yes, without wasting any time, let me first go into messages and see what you people have to say about a topic of discussion. Probably advise Kevin. This one saying, hello Judy, cohabitants should think about marriage as soon as they haven't started getting babies, because if they do, it will bring more responsibilities that will make a man have excuses of finances, because they already have a family. At least let them talk about it before they get responsibilities. Another way, let them talk about it as the love still grows stronger. So they're supporting you, Ryan. And this one says, hi presenter, my name is Juma, I'm 28 years and searching for a beautiful... Okay, you will see that message on our scroll next week on the show.
Yep.
Okay, some more messages here. I think the right time is when both of you feel right about it. That's to say, when both of you feel it's high time to think about marriage, not one partner putting pressure on the other. You see what I told you? Men think that it's pressure put on them. However, it's both of you, your responsibility. Let me give also this one a chance only. In Africa today, most young people go for relationship because they want to show off, but dear, don't have reason for it. Emma, thank you so much. Yes, Ryan, what should you have to advise Kevin before we sign out? What is your last word to Kevin?
I wish I could reverse it. I mean, I could reverse this whole thing. Probably in the first place, they are not supposed to have a baby before they think about it, you know.
So they were so fast.
They fast forwarded things. That's why I think. Because especially, you know, I'm not, you know, sidelining with women, but sometimes I've seen it somehow, you know, once a lady has a kid, I mean, she gets a kid with you, she thinks it's a done deal. And on the side of a man,
automatically she has to get married to you.
And the side of a man, once they have a baby with you,
you're done.
Probably they think
you're gone,
you're not worthy, you know.
There
is nothing that is going to drive him like
okay.
that too much. dry.
So Kevin was so fast into having babies.
Yeah.
Yes, Remy, what do you have to say to Kevin?
I think I have a lot, but I'm going to cut it short.
Exactly.
To me, I think Kevin wasn't that fast because when I listened to the letter, there were now 4 years. So when you decide to stay, because at times you think and you're like, okay, I'm going to wait until the right person comes home, then take me. Probably you're not sure
No,
if the right
I
person
think
will
having a
come.
baby would be the last
Remy,
thing.
give Remy a chance.
I think having a baby would be the last thing.
Remy,
But
I'm protecting you.
they've been together for 4 years.
Yes.
4 good years.
But how old is the baby?
It does not matter.
But they might have gotten this baby in the first year of relationship or something like
It
that.
does not, I think it does not really
The baby
matter.
might be 3 years, but they've been there for 4 years. So
Yes.
that is also...
So, even if the baby is 3 years, you have to consider the fact that this is the mother of my kids, you understand? So, it does not really matter over the kid is 3 years, over the kid is how long. What matters is you chose to have the first kid with her. You chose to have the second kid with her. Probably you, what makes you think that right now, after her giving birth to the second kid, now she's not perfect for you? Because now you've given birth. Like, she's already given birth. Now you're looking for another person who you're going to give birth in, and again, you leave that person there. So, to me, Kevin, I think you are not to be blamed. I think it's the guy to be blamed. The guy should take it serious. The guy should actually sit down with you. If you have issues together, if you did anything wrong,
I think there is no one to be blamed.
no,
we are listening.
if she did something wrong,
We're listening on one side,
she
we're
should
not
just say
listening
sorry.
on
Remy,
his
thank
side.
you so much. I know Ryan is on a man's
Yeah.
side, and then
No,
Remy
we're not
is on
listening
a
from
lady's
his side, yeah.
Okay, now my last remarks, probably I might not be the perfect person to give you, but the way, by the look of things, I know this should, Kevin, yes, they say you were in rush, but I'm not seeing the rush because you've been together for 4 years. You know what I think? Maybe the way you brought this, because there's somewhere you mentioned about the ring. You probably went with the ring and showed your husband, this should be the ring, maybe I'll put on, you know, blah, blah, blah. So the man didn't think that you're serious. Maybe you would have come up with something more serious than that if you wanted commitment or marriage. Well, but you still have more time. Don't keep silent. Engage your man with some elders, probably church leaders, or your parents. Try to talk about it. I know it will come true, so as long as you love that guy so much. Well, that's all we had time for today on the show. We can't go beyond this. You know, good things, that's how they end. But I thank my co-workers, Remy in blue, and then Ryan, so smart in red. I'm so glad to have you here.
Okay.
Thanks for honoring my invitation. That's all we had time for today. Leaving you with a wonderful, amazing song, Sucker for Pain. Dedication to you. Well, thank you so much for watching and have a good night.